Good afternoon and welcome to the John F. Kennedy Champion Center. Thank you for being here today. We'll get right to it. I'd like to welcome Director of Athletics, Ryan Bamford, to the podium.
Okay, welcome. Good afternoon. And welcome to the John Francis Kennedy Champion Center here, the Commonwealth's flagship campus here at the University of Massachusetts. It's a great day, great event. I'm excited that you all are here. And as we announce and welcome our 22nd head coach of UMass basketball, Coach Matt McCall. It's an exciting day for us. I thought I'd start, before my remarks, I thought I'd start with a few thank yous. And through this transition, through this process, for those of you that know John Calipari, and many of you do, he always said that teams and coaches can win games, but that administrations win championships. And I can tell you wholeheartedly that I think we've got one of the best administrations, both at the system level and here on campus, that any flagship state university could ask for. And it starts with President Marty Meehan in Boston and his staff and the support that they've given this campus and our athletic department. And I honestly think we've got the best CEO in the land in our Chancellor, Chancellor Subaswamy. And I just want to thank him for his leadership. I've got some great colleagues that are on the Chancellor's cabinet as well. Many of them are here today. They've been awesome to me and my staff in my first 2 years. And during this transition over the last 3 weeks, certainly they've stepped up and helped us and continue to do that every day so that we may have success and that the young men and women in our program can do the same. So I'd like to thank them as well. Our senior leadership team here in our athletics department, when you go through a coaching search, and we've gone through a few of them now in my 2 years, you leave campus oftentimes, and I was gone, I think 10 or 12 nights, and it's amazing. You realize the value that you have to your organization when absolutely everything keeps moving forward when you're gone. And so we've got a great staff. We continue to win games. Our support staff, our administrative staff, and our senior administrative unit, we've got great coaches and student athletes here. So it's just a credit to the people that we're able to attract here at the university. In particular, two of our executive staff members, Doris Griffin and Tom McElroy, I'd like to thank them. They were a big part of this search, advising me, being part of this search, really selling this university, telling our story to candidates that were interested in the university and in this basketball opportunity. They were great advisors, did a lot of research for us. These 3 weeks were really impactful as we tried to find the next leader for UMass basketball. So thank you to Doris and Tom. In particular, a thank you to Eddie Fogler, our search consultant. Eddie did a really nice job organizing things. Eddie's got, as an former AP Coach of the Year, he's got a real finger on the pulse of men's basketball in this country and talks to a lot of coaches throughout the year and got us in front of people we wanted to get in front of, introduced some candidates to us that we ended up talking to, and was just really good about keeping us on task, making sure we were efficient and organized and staying down the right path. So thank you to Eddie. Also like to particular shout out to our facility staff who does a remarkable job and is so good every day in the things that they do. They're so good that they actually went through a dress rehearsal here last Thursday, getting everything ready, making sure it was good to go. And ready for today's event, so I thank them especially as we prepared. I'd also like to thank in particular our men's basketball staff and our student athletes. It's an emotional transition. Shai Chapman, Adam Ginsberg, Andy Allison, Matt Vogel, Bonnie Otto from our staff, just remarkable in stewarding us over these last 3 weeks. And then to the young men in our program, I've had a chance to talk to you on a number of occasions. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you. You handled this with a lot of grace and humility and patience, and I appreciate that on behalf of this university. So, through a coaching process, you learn a lot about the people that you want to be associated with your organization, but you also learn a lot about yourself, and you learn about how other people view your program, view your athletic department in this university, and it always galvanizes me and the people who are associated with the search because this is such a special place, and we learn that through a coach search process. And at the end of the day, we ended up talking with a lot of really special people. And the reason why we were able to do that is because of the foundation that we've built here, and especially in the sport of men's basketball. And I think about our foundation and the success that we've had, and I'm happy to have Rita and Lori Lehman here, and Jack Lehman really got us cranking in his time as our head coach, and it's special to have you part of our program and continue to be part of this. It's from Coach Lehman, and we've had many people who have contributed. Coach Calipari, through his 8 years here, and the things that he was able to do to bring us to unprecedented heights. And then, folks like Bruiser Flint, and then the last 9 years with Derek Kellogg, who was a tremendous ambassador for this university, and someone who helped us build a foundation that we're now going to continue to have success upon. And so we look, as I said when we started this search, for somebody who can take us to the mountaintops, who can take us to the top of the A10, a great league, a multi-bid league for NCAA participation, somebody that can take us there and keep us there. And I think you can see, by virtue of this Kennedy Champion Center and the way that we've been able to impact the human resources and the physical resources of this program, that we're making an investment in UMass basketball. And this is the next step to take us to a level of success and to keep us there that will make all of us proud. So it doesn't, the search process for us as we looked over the last 3 weeks, obviously we were thorough, wanted to make sure that we had the right leader for the young men in our program and those that will join us in the future. We talked to some talented professionals. We had a lot of interest from people around the country, different experiences. It added depth to our pool. And earlier this week, we really narrowed our focus on those that had been in programs, been part of programs, and had led programs that had had a lot of success. And obviously, you can figure out why. But it led us to Coach McCall. And having a chance to meet with him earlier this week, you all have read the things that he's done, the programs that he's been a part of, and the 2 national championships and another Final Four and 2 Elite 8 teams, and I think 8 combined regular season and tournament SEC titles. The 11 years he spent with Billy Donovan at Florida, and what it meant to be part of that program, a program that has had unprecedented success. And Billy Donovan has gone on and done remarkable things in the NBA already. And I think that speaks to the coaching style and the way that you run a program and the relationships that you build. And so Matt was able to see that blueprint for success and has been able to use that as a head coach in the last 2 years at Tennessee Chattanooga to take his own team to the NCAA tournament. And so those were all things that he spoke to when he spoke to us about being the next mentor here at the University of Massachusetts. And one thing I liked about Matt, especially in that University of Florida relationship, was that he had been at a flagship state university, that he had not only worked there, but had been a student there, had earned a bachelor's and a master's there, and then had gone out and recruited the best and the brightest to come to that university. And that means a lot, because that's special to us. That's what we are, and that's what we want for this Commonwealth. So that was certainly something that interested us about his candidacy. Here's what else I learned that you can't necessarily see on paper, on his resume. I talked to a lot of coaches that know him. I talked to a lot of administrators in this business. I talked to players that played for him and people that had been around him, and I learned that he's selfless. It's not about him. It's about the young men in our program. It's about the people who make a program better, the support staff and the assistant coaches and all the people who add value every day to the experience for our young people. He's got great energy. I think you're going to feel that today and in the future. He's positive. He's relentless, passionate. He's authentic, talks about coaching ball, I think he learned that from Steve Spurrier. And Spurrier was at Florida, talks about coaching ball. He's authentic in that way. He's process-driven. He knows the result that he wants, but he focuses on the process. And if there's anything that we've tried to do in the last 2 years here is to focus on that process. And so that was something that I thought really resonated with us as we talked about him. He's extremely aspirational in his own life and the things that he wants to do and the things that he wants to do with this program. These last two things are important, especially important to us. He's a relationship builder. He's somebody who cares about people. Whether it's a walk-on or a scholarship player who's got an opportunity to go to the NBA and he's coached enough of them in his time, or again, a support staff member. And the way that he is with his family, just seeing that, especially today, and meeting them, and the introduction of Allison and their family, and the way that Brooklyn and Kylie and Allison will be part of our basketball family. To have those three women in our family is going to be pretty extraordinary. We're excited to have them on board, and that says a lot about Matt and his values. So I know you want to hear from him. The last thing I'll say before I introduce him is really just, it's an appeal. It's an appeal to everybody here today, and this is a great audience with a lot of energy, and I appreciate you all being here and those that are watching online. The appeal is to continue to invest and to buy into what we're doing. And we've got a great leader in place of our men's basketball program. I can promise you that we're investing in this program as a university. I can promise you that Matt and the staff that he builds will invest in our young people. And I can tell you right now that the guys that are here, the student athletes and those that will come, will invest in the process to have success. And we've rolled out two things in the last week: an excellence fund for basketball that will allow Matt to have quick additional value and enhancements to our program right off the bat. And then we've just engaged recently, since his appointment, in a ticket sales campaign, affectionately labeled the 3 weeks to answer the McCall. So I think there's a lot of people excited about your arriving, but no more than our marketing staff, who use your name to label our sales strategies moving forward. So encourage everybody to invest, buy in. We're going to go to places, high places in the A10 and nationally, and it's an exciting day, an exciting time for UMass basketball, and I appreciate all the support that you can give us. So with that, it is my pleasure to welcome and introduce to you the 22nd basketball coach for the University of Massachusetts, Matt McCall.
We won't be too long, because I know Brooklyn and Kylie are running out of toys to play with over here, so we'll try to keep this brief before one of them has a meltdown. But I am so appreciative, I'm humbled, and extremely honored to be the basketball coach of this great university, and to have the opportunity to work with and impact these young men every single day. It's truly a blessing and an honor, and I can't be more excited about this opportunity as we embark on this journey going forward. Obviously, there's a lot of people that I need to thank, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. And there's been so many people that have come through my life to get me to this point today, and a lot of people that we need to thank. Obviously, Chancellor Subaswamy and Ryan and your entire staff, not only for the opportunity, and we're appreciative of that, but how welcome they've made me and my family feel in such a short amount of time goes to show me just how special this place is, and that everyone's working towards a common goal together, and really appreciative of that. Obviously, we had 2 unbelievable years at Chattanooga and had some people come into our lives that that we'll have relationships with forever. David Blackburn, our athletic director there, and his staff, not only for the opportunity again, but the relationships that we established while I was there. Dr. Angle, all the players, all the coaches, the staff members there at Chattanooga, all had a part in us getting this opportunity today, and they need to be thanked as well. Spent 11 years at the University of Florida, 11 great years with an enormous amount of players there, coaches, staff members as well. You know, Jeremy Foley, for me, who was the athletic director there, looked at as one of the best athletic directors in the country, has always been a tremendous resource for me throughout my years, even when I wasn't at Florida, and definitely need to thank him because I wouldn't be here for today if it wasn't for him. All the players, the staff members, success breeds opportunity. That's what success breeds opportunity, and that's what it's about. And I wouldn't be standing here had it not been for the blood, sweat, and tears that every player I've come across put forth in order for us to have success. That's why opportunities are given to you, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of them. Obviously, my parents, my two older sisters. I always said I grew up with three moms because I had two older sisters, but you know, whether I was a student manager at Florida, a graduate assistant, a GA, director of basketball operations, Florida Atlantic, they've always been so supportive. They keep changing colors, and I know they're really looking forward to wearing the maroon for a long, long time. There's two men in my life that I've always looked up to. You could call them my heroes. Guys that are always there for me for advice, obviously one of them being my father, and the other one being Billy Donovan. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Coach, for giving me an opportunity at such a young age to crack into this business, and not only to continue to provide opportunities for me along the way, but always being a tremendous resource. Whether it was after a win, a loss, it didn't matter. I knew I could always pick up the phone, and Coach would always answer. And I am forever indebted to him for everything that he's done for me, and just to be able to learn and sit next to him for 11 years, and our relationship goes, you know, way beyond basketball. Last but certainly not least, it's not easy to be married to a coach at all. And me and Allison met when I was an assistant coach at Florida Atlantic University. So now this will be the third time I've asked her to move. And you'll get to know Allison over the years here, and one of the things that Allison loves is the beach. And when I met her, we were down at Florida Atlantic University. She was working at a resort on the beach, and the call came in for Coach Donovan for me to go back to the University of Florida to be an assistant coach. So I made her move smack dab to the middle of the state. Gainesville was great to us. Gainesville was great to us. It's where Brooklyn was born. We had an amazing time there for 4 years. And then the next phone call came in. And the phone call to move from one of her favorite states, she's got two of them, okay? The phone call to move from one of her favorite states to the state of Tennessee was a difficult pill for Allison to swallow. But she did it, and she's been so supportive. And obviously we had an amazing 2 years there. Kylie was born there, but again, back to my original point, it's not easy to be married to a coach. The sacrifices that she has to make for her own personal time, just to raise our two daughters, because of all the effort that it goes into and all the time it is to be a coach and the amount of time you're away from home, I am so grateful and blessed to have her as my partner and as my wife and as my best friend. You guys think that I'm excited for this opportunity. She's probably even a little bit more excited than I am, because she's now about 3 hours away from her hometown. And always asking me, can you please get a job up in the Northeast? Well, she couldn't be more excited that she's now back in the Northeast, back where she belongs. If you ask me the question, what excites me the most? What excites me the most about this opportunity? It's hard to pinpoint one thing. You could talk about the school's rich tradition. You could talk about the unbelievable coaches that have come through here, like Lehman and Patino. You could talk about some of the great players that have played here, that have put on that jersey. Julius Irving, okay, Marcus Camby, or Coach Calipari and the history that he created here. I know Coach Patino was a player here, but Coach Calipari and all the tradition that he created, and the wins and the championships. You could talk about how it's one of the best public institutions in the country. And all that stuff I knew before I even walked on campus. And that got me excited. What I didn't know was the unbelievable facilities and infrastructure and resources that are here to continue to make this place great. That really, really excited me. Walking through this building 2 nights ago, walking through the arena, get your juices flowing and understand how many resources are here to continue to march forward as we chase championships. The standard is winning championships. We understand that. That's the goal. The goal is to play in the NCAA tournament. The goal is to win championships and continue to hang banners like it's been done before here in the past. We understand that. The thing about the goal and the thing about the standard is we cannot focus on that. That's the end result. Our focus will continue to be on the process, and that process is getting better every single day. That process starts with these players. That process starts with us having a huge impact in them, both on and off the floor. We talk about it all the time. High impact in them means high reward. That's focusing on the process. The one thing we'll always talk about, and you'll hear me say this, people ask me all the time, what's the biggest thing you learned from Coach Donovan? The biggest thing I learned from Coach, and I take it every single day, is this university will never be about me, and it's not about me. It's about our players, and it's about the school, and it's about the tradition. That's what it's about. And we will impact their lives every single day. Style of play is important. Every coach in the country thinks they got the best style of play. Trust me, I think our style of play is the best. We want to run, we want to press, we want to get up and down, we want to space the floor, we want to run pick and rolls. But the style of play is not the most important thing. The most important thing is getting a connected unit, playing the game for each other, out there on the floor each and every possession. That'll be our focus. That's focusing on the process. The next step for this program is we continue to try to build, we continue to try to chase championships, we try to continue to try to move forward, is focusing on our culture. And our culture will be pounded every single day. And our culture is built on 5 things. Character, handling ourselves with an unbelievable amount of professionalism each and every day. Resiliency. In the game of basketball, when struggle hits, when adversity hits, you've got to be able to be resilient, whether it's in practice, whether it's in strength and conditioning, whether it's in a game when a team's going on a run. You've got to be able to be resilient, and the next thing you've got to be able to do is when that adversity hits, you've got to be able to persevere. Our focus will be on the team, playing the game for each other, getting joy out of seeing each other succeed. And the last thing our focus will be on our humility. Getting joy out of seeing your teammates succeed, getting joy out of playing the game the right way, and doing it with an unbelievable amount of humility every single day. Us doing that will have us working towards that common goal. That common goal of focusing on the process every day, that common goal of chasing championships and hanging banners in this great facility, in this great arena. Couldn't be more excited. I'm excited to get to work and start to build this program as we head and continue to go forward. Go Minutemen and go UMass.
Good job, brother.
We'll take some questions from our media members who are here in the audience. Please wait for the microphone. We have someone passing it, so please raise your hand and we'll connect with you. Please introduce yourself to Coach or to Ryan.
Well, this is for both of you. I'm Matt Votor from the Daily Hampshire Gazette. What was the process as far as when did you realize that he was the guy? And Matt, when did you realize this was a fit for you?
The days all kind of blend together. I'm trying to think. It was earlier this week, Monday or Tuesday, we got together. I think it was Tuesday. And very early on, I mean, we talked for a couple hours, he had a way of explaining to us what it meant to be a championship program and what that was like at Florida and Tennessee, Chattanooga, and how that could translate to success here. And shortly after that initial meeting and those hours that we spent together, we took a little breather, and then I asked him if he'd like to come back to campus with us. So that day he came back, and we got him comfortable with everything here in Amherst, and I think that was it was good because it gave us a chance to get to know each other even more on the way back here and to connect and talk about this opportunity. I think after some time we knew he was the right guy for us.
Well, obviously it's been kind of a whirlwind for me and my family personally. I was actually on the road recruiting on Monday. When the call came in to see if I could be in Boston by 9 a.m. on Tuesday to meet. And the second that happened, my wheels started turning. And, I knew how special of a place it was because of the tradition. I know that Coach Kellogg and the staff did a terrific job in recruiting and started to do research on each and every one of these players and knew how talented they were. And for me, after meeting with Ryan and his staff and seeing their passion for the program, obviously talking to the people that mean a lot to me, in Billy Donovan and Jeremy Foley especially, and then when I came in here on Tuesday night, I was blown away. I was blown away with the infrastructure, with the facilities, and I knew that this is a special place. And when the offer was made, obviously I had to call Allison first. I think she's already started packing some boxes to get back up here in the Northeast. But I was immediately excited and ready to get to work.
Next question. Go ahead, Matt.
You talked about the talent of the guys that you have. Are you looking at this as something that can build pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think no question about it. This is a terrific team with unbelievable talent. Like I said, I think Coach Kellogg and his staff did a great job recruiting a talented group. Obviously, getting on the floor, trying to get to work, trying to get to know each other, not just through meetings in an office, but getting on the floor and working, and them getting a feel for me as a coach. And us getting a feel for each other out there and on some things that we're going to do that'll probably be a little bit different for them. But I think, there's no question there's an enormous amount of talent here and really looking forward to getting on the floor with some of these guys.
Next question. Emily behind you. Ryan's behind you.
Hey, Coach, welcome. Ryan Walsh from 22 News. We're the NBC here in Western Massachusetts. First, do you consider yourself at all the backup plan? And these players have been through a whole bunch in this last month. How do you plan to win them over?
Well, I think, Ryan, one thing in this business is all about timing. And it was the right time for me to be the head coach of this university. And I don't look at it that way at all. I look at it as an opportunity, and I'm really, really excited for this opportunity. I can promise you that. I think, again, it's all about building trust with each other. And that'll be built by getting on the floor and working, and me investing in them. I said it earlier. We're all about high impact, and high impact equals high reward. And if we can focus on the process, and the process starts with us impacting each and every one of them, we can have that reward, and the result will take care of itself.
Next question.
How you doing, Coach? Amanda Keene from Western Mass News. You touched on it a little bit in your opening remarks, but I know the Hoop fans in here want to know, what's the kind of style of play you hope to bring here?
Well, Amanda, it's going to be exciting. I'm obviously from the background that I'm in, from working all the years with Coach Donovan. We want to run. I even feel like as a coach, we pressed a little bit more than we pressed at Florida. I think my first year at Chattanooga, we were the second or third most pressing team in the country. So we want to press. We want to try to create turnovers, which again can get us back out on the break. I'm a huge fan of the three-point line. I think it's the greatest equalizer in college basketball. If we can get a wide open look, if we can get a paint touch, a dunk, or a layup within the first 6 seconds of the shot clock, trust me, we'll take that. And then once we get into the half court, we need to execute, a pro-style offense with an enormous amount of spread pick and rolls. But again, really evaluating each and every one of these guys and trying to take advantage of their talents and putting them in the best possible situation to be successful on the floor will be how we want to play as well.
Coach, do you have a staff in mind at this point, or part of a staff in mind?
Well, obviously this has gone really, really fast here for me and my family, and it was I was up here and trying to get Allison and the girls up here. We're so thankful that Lauren Mills, who works with me at Chattanooga, came with the girls to help. So it's all gone really, really fast. So trying to evaluate the program and what's best for the program going forward will be our goal here. And we'll get the right people in here to really help impact these guys each and every day.
Hold on one sec, Mark.
Sorry.
Hey, Matt. Mark Shirley, Mass Live. How much will you take away from 2 years ago going to Chattanooga, taking over a team and having success, and how much of that will you put towards this upcoming year?
I think, Mark, the biggest thing, as a coach, you're always trying to learn, grow, and get better every day. And I look at this opportunity as I'm looking back right now on some things that maybe I would have done differently right when I got that job, that maybe impacted some things later on. Trying to look and evaluate at those things, I think is big. You're always trying to learn, grow, and get better. And any point in time you think you got something figured out, it's time to move on to something else. So I think, again, anytime you take over a program, the first thing you need to do is start investing in the players. And I felt like that's something we really tried to do when I got to Chattanooga. And we didn't have one guy leave. And that's not to say that we're not going to have a guy leave. Guys have to do what's best for their family and for themselves, and I totally get that. But we were able to keep a lot of those guys intact, and they got bought in really, really early. And I think that's why we were able to have such success right when we got there. I think our first game we beat Georgia on the road in overtime. So it's all about buy-in. It's all about getting connected. But there's definitely some experiences that I've learned from, I've grown from, and I think there's made me a better coach that's even made me more prepared for this opportunity. You're on a limit now. This is
I can hold on to this if you want.
4-question limit.
Get used to this.
Okay.
When is day one, and what do you do on day one? When are you back and sort of feet on the ground, and what's kind of task number one?
Well, day one was yesterday when I had an opportunity to talk to these guys for the first time. I've met with a few of them today. Obviously today was getting prepared for the press conference and different things like that. I've met with a few players today. I think I currently sit at 316 text messages that I need to return. So we're already hitting the ground running and working. Obviously, the hard part in all this and the difficult part for me in this whole process was just not getting the opportunity to get back to Chattanooga and get in front of everybody. That was difficult. We tried to do it via video message, which is not what I wanted to do by any means, but I understand that this was so important and the timeline here was very, very important. So I think heading back there towards the beginning of next week into the weekend, just to tie up some loose ends and say goodbye to some people will be important. And then my wife, as great as she is, she didn't bring me many clothes when she came up here yesterday. She was a little stressed on getting the girls packed, so I need to grab a couple more pieces of clothing too.
Are you going to Phoenix, or are you going to the Final Four?
No, I'm not going to the Final Four. I'm going to stay here and work with these guys this weekend.
Ryan, Tom Wester, I'm with Mass Live. How long has Matt been on your radar?
Since the beginning of the process. And the process the first time, and I might go back and just add my value to Ryan's question. The process the first time, we moved pretty quickly. We were thorough, but we moved quickly and didn't get a chance to talk to him. So, it wasn't that he was the second choice because we didn't talk to him the first time around, and it was just a timing thing. We found a candidate that we liked and wanted to go down the road with, and I can tell you that I'm extremely happy with where we ended up now a week later. This is, for us, a great hire. And Matt brings a lot to the table and was on our radar from the very beginning. He's been involved. Every place he's been has won. And you can't say that about every coach in this country. And I think that he's going to bring that winning here. So,
Anything else for Ryan or Coach McCall?
My man in the back.
Hi, Matt. My name is Tommy, UVC TV, and on behalf of all the student media, I just want to welcome you to UMass. I want to know specifically, with the way the team performed last year, what specific differences with the guys here do you think you can make in your first year to kind of get this team on the process you were talking about?
I think just the biggest thing right now for us, me especially, is just getting to know each other. I think this thing's about trust. It's about investing in each and every one of them, and if they have to trust me just as much as I trust them when it comes to being out on the floor, whether it's guarding a pick and roll the right way with the game on the line, or executing a pick and roll the right way with the game on the line. It's all about trust. So that's where we'll start, and as we continue to build and move forward, it's a difficult time of year because we're moving into April. And there's not a lot of time to work, and it's not like we're going to go in here and start practicing and getting up and down the floor. NCAA rules don't allow that, and it's not what we're going to do. We're going to get in there and get to work, and something we hang our hat on is individual instruction, player development. I think, when Coach Donovan got to Florida, he sold Mike Miller, who was from South Dakota, on coming to the University of Florida because he was going to work harder with him individually on his game and get him better. Mike could have gone anywhere in the country, and he chose to go to the University of Florida. And we stick by that. Individual instruction is huge for us, and player development and getting each other better, I think, will be big. And that's where we'll start. And then we'll progress as we move forward with that.
Hi, Matt. Liam Byrne, UVC TV 19. Now that you're coming into a bigger conference in the A10, what kind of different coaching styles do you see is going to be different just facing bigger teams and better competition?
Yeah, our record right now against teams in the A10 is 1-0. We won last year. We won at Dayton, so we're 1-0. So we got a good record, undefeated right now. Terrific coaches in this league. I know there's some transition right now with a lot of different programs in our league, which I think it's a good time to get into the league. But even the coaches that are still here, Mark Schmidt at St. Bonaventure, terrific coach. John Giannini's been to the NCAA tournament a number of different times. Travis Ford, you guys know the success that he had here will get St. Louis going in the right direction, no question about that. Bob McKillop at Davidson. Just unbelievable coaches in our league. So every night's a battle. But I think every conference in the country is like that. Obviously, I know this is a terrific league. I have the utmost respect for this league. But listen, conference play is a different animal. And you're competing for a championship every single time you step in between the lines. And every possession matters. And it'll be a battle every night. And that goes for all leagues. But I have the utmost respect for this league and some terrific environments and really looking forward to playing in those. But that's a long way down the road in the process, but obviously excited to be a part of the A10.
Any further questions for Ryan or Coach McCall? Okay, what we're going to do for our media members, we're going to do our player interviews over here in this corner. Cody Law will facilitate. Up here on stage, we'll have Ryan Bamford, Coach McCall, and Chancellor Swamy for some photo opportunities. So if our media photographers would like to gather around here as well, and then we'll disperse into the crowd. Thank you very much for joining us.
How do we do it?
job, bud.